Okay, hello, I'm live. Let me make some space here. So, today we're going to be making some wavetables. I had a little bit of a strange moment now that we have the album finished on like what to do on stream, and I was like, I could do some more production like what I always do, but I think it's more interesting to maybe once in a while do something different. And before that, that was like the mixing stuff that we did. It was the mastering session that I did last time. So for now, what I want to do is I want to kind of continue that trend in sometimes having a bit of production, sometimes having a bit scheduled like this. And what I want to do today is I want to experiment with making wavetables, something I've never really done. I, for example, am not one of those producers who has like a wavetable pack. I would like to, but I've never really, taken the time to learn how to make wavetables. And today, or this morning, I came across this video by Black Marvin, which goes in great detail in this 11 minutes. He has like 4 examples of what actually makes a good wavetable, and he also shows a very easy method to import it within Faceplant. So overall, I liked the video and I gave him a little nice comment here. So this is what I'm going to be following. Now I don't know if I can play this on stream, if he will give me permission. So I'm instead just going to shout out the video right here at the beginning, so people know. And if people rewatch the stream, which a lot of people do, they'll know that I get my inspiration from this guy to actually do what we're doing today, which is wavetable creation. That is also king of wavetables. I was hoping that he would see the title of the stream when I put in the announcement. So I was hoping that he might show up. Because he knows a lot about it too. But essentially, what the video suggested was, let's just make a sound, right? Let's start. I'm going to load up a faceplant for now here. And I'll just leave that in the background. That's what we're going to use to import here. And what I want is an audio track. I'm going to name these, so that's easy. So this is the source. This is going to be the resample. And then this will be the recording of the source. Hello, Mindbee. So this will be the group for now. Okay. So I want this to take input from there, but we first need to add an instrument. That's why it's not showing up. So let's add a serum, just so quickly we can run through what's happening here. Now we can link to the source. I can disable this track for now because I don't need it. What you want to do for wavetables, essentially, if you want to load them up into Faceplant, the easiest way, at least that this tutorial said, was you go in the editor and then you create from sample. You select whatever sample that you want to import, and then you can clean it up within the editor itself, because it's actually a lot easier to clean it up. There's a bunch of different effects. There's a bunch of like these different fixes. I don't remember which effect he used. There was some kind of way that he like morphed between the different things. There was also a way to set up how they morph between each other, which I don't know. Maybe we need to import a sample first. So first we need a sample. And that means that we need to create some kind of sound. And what you essentially want to do is maybe, I would say like a bar long sound. And you want to write down the key. Another important thing is that the lower octave that you have more control of the quality of your wavetable. They essentially become higher quality, but you have fewer frames because it does less cycles, right? So the cycle is longer, therefore you're giving you more samples per cycle, aka higher quality. But they also take longer, so you get less samples per amount of time, or less cycles per amount of time. So maybe we need to make it 2 bars long. And let's see, maybe we can make something interesting here. I want to go first of all to my tone pack, and I just kind of want to select a cool sounding tone here. It's a little bit low. We can use C1 maybe. Just to design the sound maybe, and then we can export it an octave lower. And then I want some kind of morphing sound as well. I have these windows, maybe we can find one here. Yeah, so this is something that you can use for RM, I think, is the setup. And I want to delete the very first thing of this. They aren't perfect, these windows. Like, they're not exactly aligned to 0, but they're close enough for what I wanted to do with them. I think this is the setup. Oh. So I want to automate this then. Maybe just like so. And then maybe I also want a little bit of a filter sweep on there. Maybe in like the opposite direction. Maybe going up and then a little bit like this. Say as an example, right? That would be a nice sound. Maybe for a wavetable, something that you can experiment with. Record it like that. Going to do that, and I want to show in browser, show in Explorer. I'm just going to copy over the path of the file basically, and I can create from sample and go to this sample. It's in use, okay. I think if I do it like this and then like that, it will no longer be in use. And then I can import it. Should be, at least, I hope. Yes, okay. Maybe not. Maybe that's where we have a root pitch, yes. And I think you want this correlate mode here. Can I now listen through it? That sounds nice. Hello Des, how are you doing? That looks pretty cool, it kind of fills up like there. So this is the end goal, creating sounds like this, creating wavetables like this. We can try different versions. So this doesn't sound good. Why not? Is it not aligned? That looks like it's not in the right key, right? So that's strange. This lock fundamental, you can see it wobbles a bit. That's not what you want. Lock all. That's pretty cool. That spreads it out a bit more. I do kind of want to keep that windowing effect, so that it's narrow at the start and then spreads out further. I think that was in the correlate mode, right? Yeah, it starts off with like a click and then the window opens up and it becomes bigger and bigger. So let's do it like this. Now we could add effects to it, stuff like this we can play with, but for now I want to save this. So I can go save, This will be, I need to give it a name. I'm just going to, can I add a folder in here? Create subfolder. Experiments. And I'm just going to number them for now. Okay. So that's basically what we're going to be doing and playing with here. And all of the essence come from one, creating the sounds, right? So creating the source material that we're using. And then two, in the way that we import and play with it here, making sure that they are actually, you know, flowing nicely and sounding nicely, stuff like that. That's all important. And then we'll go through different sound design techniques that we can use, and hopefully some sound design techniques you might be able to suggest. That would be nice, a little bit of interaction. If you guys have an idea of what to do, then I'm always open for input. We can do it obviously in Serum, but we can also use Vital, because Vital, what we can essentially do, this might be fun to do. Oh, seems to need a little bit of an update. It's actually downloading some wavetables for me. Okay. Does that mean that we have more wavetables now to choose from, to start from? I don't know. What I like about Vital is that you can do all kinds of modifiers and stuff like that. Right, so I've tried a few times to make something in Vital. I think we can go through some of the things that I've made. This is like a bandpass sweep like that. And this is some kind of wave folding thing here. Ah, this is the actual good sounding window. So this is a proper window, in theory. But it seems to kind of go both ways. I don't know if there's a way to actually fix that. We can try to see what it does, if it actually works. So maybe with some RM here. Oh. Let's set the face in a predictable manner. Okay, so yeah, that is an actual window. You could maybe see FM, what that does. That's a little bit aggressive, maybe with a sine wave. This would be a cool tone to start off with, like modulating this down, right? And then if we can clean that up, that would be nice. All the way around, like this. Test that nice kind of gritty FM tone in the middle. Maybe we just use that part in the middle there. We can see. Okay, so that would be like this bit here. Right, so what we can do is just set it like this and this. So now it's only that gritty middle part that we want. You can see it up there. It's much louder than my voice. Okay, I can move my microphone because I do have like a compressor on it. So it should compress it. Let's see. Does that actually work? Maybe it's just me talking quietly because I'm thinking. Either way, we need to again get the Explorer part here so that we can import it. Oh, which one is it now? It's probably going to be the last one, right? This one here. Yeah, it's in use, so that's the one that it is. Let's try that again. What we can do here is lock the fundamental theoretically. That should lock that sign movement. Lock fundamental. What if we do that? Okay, so that's not it. This is just a mess. It's a bit of a messy one. I don't know how to stop that sign from moving. I guess what I could do, maybe, is remove the fundamental itself from there. Which I should be able to. I don't know how to. What I want to do is I want it so that the sine wave kind of stays in place. Is there a way for me to edit the phase of the lowest harmonic? Like over time? Because that wheel is like turning, right? So that's not what we want. Is there a way for me to select the whole thing? If I go like this and then edit. Or does that do an individual frame? That does an individual frame, right? I'm sorry, I'm very unfamiliar with the different tools here. It does look like I'm selecting it, right? This is grayed out. It is doing something. Let's see if we can get that nicely in the middle. Does that now stay? Oh, now it's all one thing. Faceplant manual. Let's see. Okay, Wavetable editor. Tool for converting any sample to a wavetable tone. Okay, that we know. Set parameters for the tool. The duration of the mode, blah, blah. Selection tool. The default tool is the selection tool that allows you to select part of the wavetable. Harmonic edit tool. I think this is what we need to edit. Phase. Yeah, so I am editing the phase. I just want all of the other ones to say the same, essentially. Like if I select the whole thing and then go into here, it makes them all the same. That's not what I want. I just want to fix the sine wave, the lowest harmonic, basically. Because if we can get that done, then this could become a very cool waveform, I think. So how would I do that? It's annoying that it... Shifting every partial by the same angle, that's not what we want. Reset. Effect can be blended, that's also not what we want. I want to reset phase for specific partial, not all of them. That's what I need. Hello, Bulla. Okay. Does that mean that I need to go through each one of them? Or do they have like a remove fundamental? Align fundamentals. Well, that's kind of what I want. It is still wobbling at the end here. But now if I scrub through, I can set this to 90 so that this peak always stays in the middle. And then I can align fundamental. That's still not it. Let's start off here. Let's see how this sounds. Maybe we can turn it into a better sounding waveform. If we resample it again, maybe. Not really what you'd like to hear. Can I morph between the two ends? Can I like select the second? Second, please. No snap. I'd like to morph between the outer parts, please. Okay, from here, crossfade. Spectral. Also not really what we want. Why does it not allow me to select number 2? Ah, no. If you hold shift, then it allows it. Okay, so then we crossfade. Everything selected, then we crossfade. I mean, it's kind of cool, not really what I was going for, but let's see linear. It's cool in that it kind of doubles up, right? And then I save this as 2. I'm gonna give them names later, but this would be then our second kind of morphing wavetable. I like this kind of that it switches between 1 and 2, kind of those wobble bits, which is pretty cool. I think you could really neatly kind of create some randomized leads between that, or maybe like a lead that half of the time plays like this and the other half of the time plays like this. Something like that could be cool, maybe. Okay, next one. I think I just kind of want to switch back and forth between like Vital and Serum and maybe even Faceplant itself as well. Is there something else that might be interesting in here? Maybe you can do something cool with the warp mode. There were these ones that I made, the SSQ warp mode. This might be a bit of a mess on this particular wavetable, but it might be cool with like a little bit of extra harmonics on a sine wave. Let's see what this sounds like. That could be very cool. If we can turn that into a tone and then use that as a wavetable, that would be very nice. Oh, this is already set now. Let's clean it up like this. So this is 28. You have to look at the second number, which is the minutes, which we'll use to identify the different samples that we import here in Faceplant. Is there a quicker way to do it? Could I just like drag it in? I have no longer here. That's fine, we can find it. It remembers the one that you keep it on. It's a bit of a mess. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner already. It moves around slightly. Do you see how it moves like slightly that way? Like, look at this peak here. Moves slightly to the left. Let's see, correlates. Still a bit, but a lot less already. Log fundamental. Okay, so that's a mess. Log all. I mean, it's the cleanest in terms of where it stays, but I think I'll like the correlate a little bit better. That I also recorded different virus TI wavetables. You can just drag it in there. That would be nice. We'll try that with the next one, because that's easier. Yeah, that would be our wavetable then. What we can do is maybe add a little bit of distortion to this. Let's see. Nice fold back here. Let's see what that does at the end. It gives it a little bit of extra spice there. Want to go with not so much drive in there. Also do like, what is the peak level at there? I want to keep the levels the same, ideally. I just want the effect. Okay, so that's a bias, that's not what we want. Wait. What I can do is normalize it first. Normalize RMS, that isn't really... Okay. Oh, I need to do everything. This one. That's the closest we'll get. Now the distortion is going to still add volume to that. But if we set that to like 50%, something like that, that should give it a nice grid there at the top, hopefully. It's a bit of a mess with all of the stuff on the screen. Just to test it out. Ooh. That's pretty cool. And then if you want to turn this into a nice synth, you add like a filter to it maybe. This one also, no movement. Bipolar. That's very cool. I like that. Let's make a quick trigger here. We can set this to there and there. And then we set this to 1/16. Does that not work? And that's just from the single filter. Why does that not always trigger? Well, I want to save this as number 3. I'm saving them as FLAC files. Should I save them as WAV files too? I'll do that later. You can open them up and then save them again. So that's okay. Ah, for every one that you press, it stops. I don't know why that's happening. It doesn't really matter. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So what we can also do, what would be interesting, is to use the wavetables that we just created to create a new sound. And I like, obviously we have to do that in FacePlant, but I like FacePlant for that because I can look at what is happening. Because it shows you, right? So in here, let's take the first one, for example, which is our like windowed mess, which I didn't normalize, by the way. I should probably do that. Fixes, normalize frame peaks. Okay, we can create like different wavetables that sit in here, which are like modifiers, modulators, and we can play with that. There's already windows in here. I don't know why I made window. Oh yeah, I remember, because these are like bipolar. I want this unipolar. That is what I wanted. And the way I did that, I believe, let's do this in a group. Just some quick sound design experiment. The way that I did that is I generated a DC offset, turned that into a wavetable, and then added those two together. I think in some way. Let's see if that's true. If I have, I think it's this, yeah. I don't think it shows it, or it might always be up top. But I think if we look at the mix, yeah. So this is now a full window, right? Because it's all moved up top. And then we halve the volume here. Or like 75 or whatever it is. This is now our window. So that's what I made. We can use this to do the same windowing trick again, essentially. Before we did it with the FM, this is a result of FM with that window. What I want to do now is apply some amplitude modulation to it as well. So we should be able to set this fully, and then it should modulate it if we do like this, I think. Where is our output coming from now? Why are we getting... Ah, right. Of course. Okay, so this does not have any output. Or do I need to set the level first? I might need to set the level first. How do you do audio modulation in Faceplant? I thought you could do that. I thought that this is audio modulation then. Ah, wait, no, I'm doing the wrong thing. It's this. Yes. Now we get the window. Do you see how it, like, when I open up the waveform, that it opens up this thing too? That's the cool thing about the windows. Another cool thing is that I can up the semitones here to say like double, and then offset the phase by 90 degrees. And what that will do is it will create kind of two windows around the old, where the old spike was, I think. We want to do it at 0 degrees. Minus 90 maybe. Maybe a little bit more. I want to kind of avoid where that old spike was. Kind of like that. Okay, so let's assign a macro to this. I want this one to open up. Like so, and then I want this one simultaneously to come down. Okay, maybe not that much. Okay, let's add a little bit of distortion to this. Not so much, just like a nice saturation. Obviously we don't want any stereo in there. And then I also want a slight bandpass, but I want a very shallow one. We can do that before, I think. How do you, again... I can make an aux and have this go in here as well. And that way it's like 50-50, right? So this is basically parallel. So we want a bit of a bigger spike so that it influences that a bit more. And then I think we might want a distortion before that. And then it goes down with the other modulation that we set. Let's slightly down the Q factor while we're here. And then we add a little bit of this back in. So we always have that little bit of gritty high end in there. We could even go inverted and then it like phases out, theoretically. Our wavetable should sound like this though. This is a pretty cool sound actually. I like that. Okay, let's go like this. Record that. We'll normalize them all together and then it should sound good. Okay, so that's what our waveform will look like. Going to open this in the browser. And then if I drag this in here, doesn't work. Ah, it's because I have it open. Oh, sorry. That's not what I want. Let's see. That actually looks pretty clean, like all of the peaks, all of the like little frequency areas stay in place. But we can, obviously we want to check all of them. This one is even cleaner. That's nice. It actually goes from like 2 points down to 1, which is interesting. Actually it goes down to 2, you can still see it here, but this one is significantly louder. Even like later on, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then I want to basically normalize each peak, right? That's what I want to do. Or does this just not display it then? Yes, this keeps the peaks normalized, which is what we want, I think. Now I would love to shift this a little bit around. Like have this peak at the start of the waveform, like of the wavetable right there. Okay, so that's going to do all of them together. I want to offset then. Phase offset. Okay, so then we place that there. What is this linear thing? I don't know, but I just want this here and there. It just looks a little bit neater at the start of the waveform. That's very, very cool. You can create like cool sweeps with this. Maybe an octave lower as well. That's actually really clean. I really like that. Okay. Let's save this as number 5 or 4, sorry. 2, yeah. It's because there's 5 wavetables now, because we had that one that we normalized. Okay, I want to do another technique, which is same as with the window thing. I might need to make the window again. Can I go back to... Yes, nice. So let's keep the window bit here. Let's give this a envelope so that we output it. Going to set this to like little peaks here, and I want to phase align it to the start so that it always starts right there. Nope. So we basically just want it like this, almost like an impulse. Then what we can do is use these what's the one again? Disperser. Here it is. These things, and modulate these around. That would be cool. Like have different ones of them selected all together. What might be the case is that the snap heap pack from Dash Glitch has something like this in here, Catalyst. Let's see if there's like a disperser thing in here. If Dash is still in here, he can maybe give me a tip. Phasey. That's what I want, right? Oh. Not really the modulation that I'm looking for. Filters based on phaser. Okay, that's pretty cool actually. Okay, that's very nice. I can set this up as a macro. And then maybe I can like mix it in. No, that's not really what I want. Always full mix. Maybe modulate this one as well. What if we do that the other way around? That's pretty cool. So now if we record that, we get this. I have no idea what this is going to look like in terms of the waveform. Okay, so that is 48. Let's open it up. This one here. Oh, it's always the bottom one. Okay, native like this. Oh, it's actually really cool and phasey. It is a lot higher though. We want this to be octaves lower. Octaves higher, so like C4 maybe? Maybe that's just, I'm just looking for one peak. It's not looking that clean. Lock fundamentals, see what that does. Not what we want. It's very wobbly. Maybe this is the one that we want. What note have I been playing it? C1. Why is it shifting then? It's gonna be a C, right? I assume. Detect. C1, yeah. That's what I thought, but it doesn't stay where it needs to stay. I guess this is it. But if I now go to double, it should just take half the waveform. Right? Okay, so it does. And if I go to C3, double it again. Why didn't that work before? I thought we did that before. It doesn't matter. Okay. let's have a listen. Oh, that looks cool. Let's actually normalize it first. Each one of them. Hello, Klaus. How are you doing? Look how that looks. Very phasey. Maybe a bit too much. We'll see. That's actually really cool. Just woke up and see you're here. Yeah, every Sunday, right? Where do you live that you just woke up then? This is pretty cool. 1/16. We do a plus and then something like that. And a Wavetable. Again, just to get a feel for the wavetable. No, that's not the one that I want. I want the one that you can curve, yes. And I want this to loop. There's a possibility for it to, yes. Faceplant is so in-depth, man. Like, creating your own curve, being able to loop it all in the modulation, and that just being a part of its appeal, right? You can do it like this. Like that. Actually like the lower octave. There's a little bit of a click that has to do with the way that we're making this, I think. Maybe if we go back up towards here. It's not always at 0. Right? If you look through it, it kind of goes up and down. Maybe you can try something with the spectral filter or vital after this one. Definitely. That's definitely one that we can use. So this one would need a little bit of cleaning up because it like wobbles there. This is the kind of thing that I think you would need somebody like Dada for, to actually help you out with these very specific things. Like, how do I make it so that within this whole wavetable, it always goes to 0 here? Maybe somebody else knows. For now, I'm just going to save this. It is an experiment after all. Okay. Just going to reset that up like normal. And then, as might be suggested, we'll use the vital spectrum filter, which is this one, or the phaser or the flanger. We can use any one of them. The idea is that you can edit this, and I really don't know how the edit works. Like, can you make multiple peaks in there or something like that? Like, what does this mean that I created these 2 peaks? I can see that it changes things. But what am I doing? It is cool. It does look cool. That does sound pretty neat, actually. Let's do. Let's keep this like normal, like this and this. Has a little bit of like a strange. You're drawing the frequency curve and the parameter offsets it. Ah. Okay, so we're essentially creating like a notch filter in there then. So what we can do is do the same thing here, and we basically create two like very wide notches. Or two very wide peaks, essentially, then, if I understand it correctly. Let's see how clean we can get this. If we do it like this, is that cleaner or? Not really. Maybe we need to go like this. And then like so. Maybe the smoother the curve is, maybe the cleaner it is. I don't know. I've never really experimented with it. That's almost a little bit too clean. Is phase per frequency a flanger, is delay per frequency, if I'm not mistaken. That's actually very cool. I didn't know that. I can modulate this. Okay, what does that do? It does something. Spectral phase. Is it the amount of phase shift that it does? Maybe we need to like tune this so that it works. We're already getting some pretty cool results, I would say. Like nice zaps and stuff like that. Okay, maybe go a little bit more like this. Yeah, we can edit this first bit out when we import it, where it's like a little bit wobbly. And then when it becomes stable, like right here, we just use that. That's very cool. We can even just set this like this. That's very nice. Why does this keep losing its input? Because, okay, so at some point it just becomes too thin, maybe? Like there's nothing here towards the end. That doesn't really matter, actually. Okay, let's see how you get imported. So that becomes fairly clean there, but with something like native or naive seems to work better. Yeah, so we still have a little bit of a wobbly bit in here, but essentially from this point on we could import it. So starting like right here and then ending it right about here. And now we can normalize each of them, and then it will still stay as a peak, right? That's pretty cool. You can make some cool sounds out of that as well. Again, I'd just like to test them. That's a very nice technique. I like that. We can play more of that. Okay. Let's save this. Did I just save over? saved it as default wavetable. That's not what I want. I'll rename that in another moment. That's okay. Having earphones on for such a long time is annoying, especially now since the last few streams were all like mixing related. What I want to try is to just do it normally, because this is stressing me out a little bit, the earphones. Let's see what happens with my audio if I do it like this. I'll move the mic a little bit closer to me and a little bit further away from the speakers. So that should help, as long as I don't bump into the thing. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna up my volume a bit. Oh. Okay, so now we can try also maybe the flanger. Okay. Why does it sound like that? That's nice. At this point, as I said, I don't have a lot of experience making wavetables. I'm just trying to find a bunch of cool processes that I can use in the future. I hope to make a pack at some point. We're getting some pretty decent results here. I'm going to cut off that last bit, because I don't feel like that might be needed. I also try to kind of speed up the pace, so if I don't explain everything, then there's a reason for that. Let's see, we have to browse through it, see if it's nice and tidy. It does look like that. This one looks very, very nice already, like this. Here it's maybe a little bit cleaner, but I don't know if I like that for all of them. I might like the... Oh. What was the one that we had before? Lock all. Let's see what this sounds like. Almost like a little bit of a glassy vibe here in this last bit. Okay, this one. This one sounds more digital to me. Or Search XT. I think I have VCV racks installed here. We could give that a shot. I think I'll go with the lock all on this one. Has that nice glassy texture to it. Of course we want to normalize each of them so that we have a nice loud wavetable. I don't have Search installed here, Search XT, so I really like the valley like that you can see in here, and the bump that's in there. It's a very cool design, this. Let me save this. This is number 6. We already... No, this is number 7, because that one is named strangely. Let's see if I have VCV-Rack installed here. I think I do. Is it the VST3? Oh, I don't have it. Give me 2 seconds. VC. Rack 2. If I'm logged in on the website, I should be able to download and install it. Login. Let's see if my login works. Account. Ormi Cohen did a video on it. Search XT is now available in VCV-Rack as module. Okay. Library. Where do I download it, and if I already have it on my account? VCV-Rack. Rack 2. Thank you for your purchase. Here's the download. Perfect. Okay. I placed that in the wrong thing, but that's okay. I'll install all of it. Destination folder. The VST is going to go in my VST folder. I don't want to launch it. What I do want to do is go in here. It's gonna need to download all of the things in my library though. Okay, but it is here. That's nice. Okay. Downloading license key. Queuing for updates. There it is. Okay. So, can you link it? Yes. I think you need to link it in Discord because YouTube does not allow links, I think. So, do I have a live stream channel anymore? I don't. Just put it somewhere like in resources in the Discord chat, and I should be able to find it there. And let's see. The macro oscillator. I think I might have that one. It's does it need, how many modules do I have installed? Ah, it needs to install all of them. Okay. Who does not like this? Is it crashing? Is it forcing me to restart? Hello? That was a big crash. I got this moving wallpaper now that we're here. Let's see if the export of the music videos is still going. Do I want to get that? Yes. I just need to quickly check over here if it's still... Ooh, does not like that. We'll make a new project then, that's okay. The nice things about these experiment projects is that we don't lose really anything. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's really like tranquil. all of the other like animated ones that are in the tool that I'm using for this are like very wild and very fast and stuff like that. It's an application on Steam for $4. I think Steam might open up on my main monitor. That's not the greatest of the ideas. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As a result, viewers will experience buffering. I don't see any buffering here. It's because of the crash, I think. Crashing Ableton might also have like temporarily messed up my stream. Okay. Okay, now I exit out of here, close this guy up, and then open it again. It's queuing for updates. Update all. So audible instruments. And then I'm 100% sure that I don't have that search one in my library. So if I just search for search, search XT, or just search maybe. Oh, it has all of them. 451 modules found. It's all the search for rack stuff. Can I just subscribe to all of search for rack? Or do I need to add them individually? Also, while we're at it, are there any other modules that people might recommend? I'll throw the library up here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding them to my account. It's not going to show my account information, so that's okay. Reverb, LFO, flanger. What's the video of Omri? Which one? This one? This is the old version. Okay. So they already did something wrong, apparently. That's no big issue. Search for VCV rack. This is 2 years ago. This is the old stuff. I want to see this one then. Ooh.
The VST that is now available as individual modules in VCV-Rec, which is quite exciting. For now, it's available as open beta that you can download and use. I will put all of the info in the description, but if you are watching this in the future, this might already been released in the VCV library. Again, it's available for free, and today I want to show you a few interesting sound design ideas with this collection. We'll have a look at many
I'll go
modules
in here. How do we install it then?
Something fairly simple.
Manuals.
So I want to start with building a subtractive synth type of patch to show you some of the interesting features the modules have. If you want to dig deeper into subtractive synthesis, I have a full series of videos all about subtractive synthesis in the modular.
So if I just search the first one.
There's a link in the description, of course. Right, so we will start with the classic VC.
Right. Mix master.
This, right, we can move between the shapes.
If something comes up here, then it's the developer is MindMeld. So I can just search for MindMeld and then everything. 17 modules. Okay, so there's a few paid ones. I already have some of them. I already have this one. EQ Master, EQ Expander. Is this not it? This is the same thing, right? Hello, Dada, by the way. Is this not? Ah, those are the... Ah, wait. Here are the patches from the video. Is it this one? Here it is. You'll need to download the beta plugin. Okay. And then I want Windows 64. Where do I put this? I'm assuming in a VCV rack folder somewhere, which might be in my program files. Does it say here? Sorry guys that I suck at this so bad, but you have to bear with me. Rack 2 Pro. That's not it. This is not it. Maybe an app data. No VCV in roaming. I think you have a README inside. This is all there is. Documents Rack 2. I'm stupid. Rack 2 plugins. There it is. Save. Download it. Okay, so it's going to crash again, apparently. It seems a bit complicated. Yeah, we were trying to just make wavetables. But this kind of took over. Overall, it's not just wavetables. I'm just doing sound design experiments because at the end of the day, if I do some experiments that don't end up in a wavetable, I can still use the results from that to like further my knowledge about sound design. I've never really like delved into VCV rack. So this is a cool excuse also to learn VCV rack itself. Update all. It's gonna need to download everything. Okay. It does not want to work. Was hoping that this would work. I have to look into that. Maybe I need to make like a bug report on this or something, because that does not seem like normal behavior. What's happening now? We'll leave the VCV rack stuff for now. I quickly need to set up my project again so we can get back into normal wavetable making. So I have 2 MIDI tracks and an audio track. This one has faceplant on it. Bam, this one has vital. We can do one more with the spectral stuff here. Or maybe like data compress or something like that. Now this is bugging as well. Source resample, and then this will be our source. Wavetable making. What I can do is I can drag this group quickly into here, so I can always pop this up. This is a very useful trick. Anytime I want to then make a wavetable, I already have it set up. Theoretically, I need to add this to the source, and can turn this off. I'm just thinking of how do I want to use this actually. But going into it, I want to start by modifying the source. And I want the source to be empty so I can add any instrument or effect or whatever I want. Farts make excellent wavetables for bandpass sawtooth waves. Don't ask me how you know. Well, you're the king of wavetables, so I won't question your methods, okay? I'll also save this as a session quickly. Today is... don't remember what my date format was for this stuff. So it's 27/11. You know about the crop clip workflow in Ableton, right? No. I don't know about any of the workflows here. This is like my first time experimenting with this stuff. I assume what you do when you make wavetables is that you don't go through each of the steps one by one for each wavetable, but that you make a whole bunch of different sounds and then make individual wavetables from them, right? Like, that would be the most logical thing to do. Yeah. But we're just experimenting. If I were to make like a product out of these, then yeah, for efficiency, I would probably generate a whole bunch of different wavetable-esque sounds and then go and import them all and process them all. Maybe even set up some kind of automated method of making these sounds. Speaking of which, that sounds interesting. Why don't we try that? If you record a sound, you can drag and drop. You have to right click and crop clip. Yes. Well, what I do is I have my phase plant here and I open up a wavetable. Can create from sample, and this will give me all of the files from my latest project. So whenever I make a clip, I can just open an Explorer, copy over the file path, and then go there. And if I continue to do it in the same folder, it will always open up in the same folder. Can show you, if you stay around for a little bit, if I make this sound, then I can show you. Okay, let's make this interesting in some way. Let's use the editor to start with. I want a sine wave. Maybe with a little spike in there, that would be cool. With the wave folder on there. Can like multiply it a few times, like it wobbles out a bit, like that. I like that. It's maybe a bit too strong. Oh. Let's see. That sounds pretty nasty. I like it. Except I want to go back into the source. Can I go here? Yeah. If I drag up more, it will allow me to do more, and I can make this. Oh. That's not really the greatest sound, to be honest. Wave warp. Oh, this is something else. If we move these two around, can we, yeah, move up. That sounds nice. And then we can make one here that goes down. Okay, so maybe it's a bit too far. Or maybe we do want to go positive. Because then it maintains this kind of gritty bit here. So we'll move this around. Let's see. It is kind of cool. Record a sound, right click, drag and drop directly from arrangement view. Okay, let's try that. So let's say that this is our wavetable. I'm going to like render this out as a wavetable. That sounds actually pretty cool. It almost sounds like two wavetables. What I might do is double this sound so we have double the resolution. So this is on G. I should not import on G. Why am I doing that? C. Okay. I don't know if this is the exact right key and stuff like that, but I think this will work. It's almost like 2 bits, right? So this takes input from the source. Okay. Say that I have these two sounds, right? I go right click, crop, clip. I don't know what that does. Never used that. But now I can drag them into here. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's actually very helpful, yeah. Okay, I like this. This seems nice. So this is the first wavetable that we had from there. Saves so much time, yes. Well, technically, once I'm in the right project file, it opens up right here and I don't have to copy over it every time. I'm not in the right project file now, but like say that the way that I used to do it was show an explorer. I copy over the file path, which opens up on a different monitor for me. Then I go into here. Oh. Hit enter. There it is. Open up this one. It did cause the problem that I would need to delete them from here. So that I'm not going to do. But yeah, once it is in there, the first time it always opens up in the same folder. So anytime I consolidate something and then delete it, I can just open it up. But now it's in use, yeah. So with the crop sample, it doesn't do that, I assume. That's where it's for. This actually looks very nice. I like the almost like impulse that this gives me. I want to offset the phase here though. I want this at the beginning, the click. Now ideally I would line this, can I zoom in here? Ideally I would line up the zero crossing here. Something like that, that's very close. Now, does this hold true? Drifts. This wavetable is drifty. How do I prevent that? How do I make it so that it always has... Not that it matters too much. I can export directly from Vital. Yeah, I could, but I like... I got inspired by this video. I'll show it. Maybe you know it. I'm following a particular video here. What makes a good wavetable by a guy called Black Marvin. This is okay. This video. I'm following this. So that's why I'm doing it in phase plant. he talks about how the different import modes and algorithms within Faceplant makes your wavetable sound better, and what you should look for in like the way that your wavetable kind of morphs and transforms. So that's what I'm trying to pick up on, and that's the reason for using Faceplant in this case. I do like what this looks like, the wavefold qualities that this has. Let's see what it sounds like though. Oh. It's like that little vowel-y kind of growl. I can see this being used as a synth, maybe if you like randomize it. Random. I should actually set this too. It's a bit clicky, so that's a bit annoying, but the power sync in Faceplant is super nice. Power sync. We can experiment with Faceplant itself as well, right? Maybe this one with a filter. This is the kind of wavetable that you need to add a little bit more to, I would say. Maybe like a nice little bandpass filter. Yeah, I can see that work. To be honest, when it comes down to paying for plugins, the Faceplant way of doing rent to own is, I think, the coolest way. Because the way that they do it, at least how I understand how my subscription plans works, is that I'm not just paying off... that's a large beer bottle. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm not just paying off my Faceplant, but I'm continuously subscribed and I'm racking up coupons, which means that I can choose to be subscribed longer than the value of my Faceplant. But I can, once I rack up enough coupons, I can just use the coupons to buy Faceplant and that's it. I have to make no more payments. Or I can choose to say subscribe longer, in which case my subscription is almost like a support for Kilohertz and what they do. I think this is how it works, because there is something where you save up coupons of like $100 for every $100 that you pay in your subscription, while you pay like $10 a month, something like that. And it's a really cool system, I think, because it's a system where the person who can afford it can continue their like payment to a developer for support, right? So that's really cool, I think. I want to import that second one as well. First, let's save this. Save. I don't want to overwrite it. This is number 8. I'm just numbering things for now. Giving everything names is going to be annoying. Let's see. Native. Let's see how you sound. This is the more gritty version. I might not want that first bit. Like maybe starting from like frame 14 or something. It's a little bit more grit, it seems. So that would be there. I'm thinking of using a random word generator for naming stuff now. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's all going to be like an FM sounding wavetable, because that's A, the easiest thing to kind of make, and B, that's kind of really all we use for Psytrance, to be honest, in terms of like complex waveforms that need to morph from one state to the other. The rest of the synths are asset leads, which you don't need wavetables for, and stuff like that. And anything that you like sound design the normal way, you don't need the wavetables for. So the FM stuff is really, unless you're doing something specific with like the Virus TI thing that you did, where you recorded, didn't you record wavetables from the TI? Oh, I want to do... Oh, that is normalized then. Oh, that's not good. We want this bit to stay the same. So we normalize global peak. I need to select everything and then like this. Right? Deformant complex. Yeah, that in that case you can kind of carry over the name from there. But when you're just making wavetables from scratch, you end up with like 100 wavetables that all sound like an FM kind of wavetable in their own way. So how do you come up with names for them? Right. That's what I did with my tone pack, back when I did the tone pack for Serum, which aren't wavetables. I'm sorry. Ah, I had that selected. They're not wavetables, they're just individual cycles. Right, so this does nothing. I just numbered them, which is really cool because this is a very easy way for me to sound design, because I really don't have to do anything. If I want to sound like this every once in a while, bit of release, that's it. Yeah, it's enough, right? You just flick through them. And you don't really have to do any more sound designing, and it's a really quick way for me to just get some leads down in a drop. And then I might go back and do some additional sound designing after, but for just laying down the idea, it's very, very quick. Which is a more interesting approach than the wavetable. Like, everybody's doing wavetables. Okay, so this will be... including me now, by the way, just saying. Okay. One of the recommendations I saw in the chat was the power sync, because we can just make our own wavetables in here as well, technically. I think I can delete all of it and then make a sine wave, like so. Oh, this is more than just a sine wave. Well, that's a nice starting point. Let's start here. Give it some phase offset, maybe like this. That looks kind of cool in that it cuts off strangely, I say. Or does it? No, it doesn't. It's continuous. That's okay. Then we can play with the effects here. Power. Ooh. %, overlap. Amount. Okay. So on this one I want an amount of 100, and then on this one I want an amount of 0 and a mix of 0. Then we hold shift and delete every, or is it already doing it? Is it already crossfading between these? Oh, it is. Oh, that's nice. Did it again on an empty area. How do you do that in Ableton? Oh, the menu. This thing. I double right click and then it opens up a menu that I set up. This is Live Enhancement Suite. This thing. For anybody who uses Ableton actively, This makes Ableton so much better, so much faster. It's the menu, the quick add devices. It's a pain in the ass to set up. You have to go in here into your configure menu, and then it becomes this massive text file. Right, so this is the configuration. You write down the name that you want to show in the menu and then what it needs to search in the search bar. And I went through it for all of these plugins, and I still have a lot more to do that I want to add to this. So this is what I use for the loading things up. I spent a day setting up the menu, and now I'm saving myself so much time doing this. It's insane. Because especially when you're doing effects, right? Now that we're doing it, I don't really need to load up a whole bunch of different plugins. But when you're doing effects, you're like, oh, I want an EQ. What kind of EQ do I want to use? I go for, I don't know, the Carve EQ. That's one that I haven't used a lot. Right, so you discover new things. The Turbo EQ, I've started using that. Loads of different things that you start using because now you suddenly have a list of all your EQ plugins or all your compression plugins. Oh, we're on the wrong one. Okay, so this is sounding pretty basic, I'd say. Let's try that again, but with a more complex, like, waveform. How can we make it more complex easily? We could self FM. $29. Let's set it right there, because then that peak is nicely in the middle, which looks cool. Okay. Let's try a little bit of a phase offset, so that this lines up with the start. I don't know if that's necessary, it just looks neat. Then, do I already want to go for the phase offset? I could use it twice, right? Or I could maybe start with a more interesting modulation here. If here I go more self FM. That's a little bit much, maybe. Let's again see if we can aim for, yeah, nice flat peak here. We get some peaks all around, which looks cool. Which is not what I wanted. I just wanted to do that on the last bit. Okay, just the last one, which means that these are the Here I want it to be full, and here I want it to be, no, I want it to be the same. Sorry. Oh, now we lost that. I think it was like around 19-ish. Yeah. So we want that here at 19 at full. Is there an optimal length, or doesn't it matter? I've been using 2 bars. I don't know if there's an optimal length. Probably that I will tell you. I usually record 2 bars when resampling. Yeah, so I did the same. What note should you use? Is there also something that's like the note that you use? I'm using C1 at this point. And for the last one we did 4 bars, but here we should just do 2. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, so not very interesting already. But now with the power sync on there, if we go a mix 0 to fully active. And then full overlap. Why is the mix not 0? Done like this. And then what if I do each peak? It stays a little bit louder here in this part, which I like. That's cool. Reverb decays from snares sound good to me. Oh, I have another quick tip here. Something I discussed a little while ago. I don't know where it came up in which context. But you take like a drum sound, any drum sound really, like a hi-hat, something like this, and you throw a very bad, or like quality-wise not the best delay on there. Not that this is a bad reverb. I said delay, but I meant reverb. Fully wet. And now I'm going to take utility, full gain, duplicate that like 5 times. Then we throw on a limiter, and I'm going to turn this down. And then you get like a very sustained reverb. And in theory, if you set the timing right and the size right, this is a Mr. Bill technique. Yes, I think I may have seen it there. It should glitch in some way, right? Maybe it has to do with the... stuff with very high feedback. Yeah, the goal is to create a sound that just suddenly ends, and that ending should be the glitchiness. I don't know why this one isn't doing it now. Maybe with the hybrid reverb that works, because the hybrid reverb, or the convolution pro, because that's based on a sample, and sample has that lower quality and the low volumes. So I think this one is one that I like. Yeah, something like that, right? This is that's the goal. Am I using 32-bit floating point? I think Ableton internally does always use that. You have a distortion. Let's do that. It's going to depend on also what kind of reverb you're using, right? So maybe this one is better. I think he used the wave shaper. Let's for now not worry about it. We're going to go into adding some effects on top of the wavetable after this. Let's set up our modulation. Go back to this one. I need to set up the macro here, obviously. Let's record that. We can add like a phaser going down or something onto that. For this kind of phaser, what I like to do is serum effects. Where did I put that? Serum effects, there it is. And then use the filter so that you have really good control over starting and ending points. So say phaser, this one here. You can just morph between the different types. Maybe we want, I don't know, a flanger. Maybe we want a comb filter. For a comb filter you want a lower frequency cutoff. So we add a macro to offset it. I think the same is true for flangers. A little bit of lower resonance on this. Oh, that's not what I want, actually. Why is that not moving the resonance though? Ah, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to automate the resonance. Try a more full spectrum sound. Yeah, I do like what we're going with here. Maybe have the resonance in there a bit longer. Maybe have this like go down in there. I want to kind of keep the little peak that's in there at the start. Something like this maybe. Oh, I need to wait. I need to add a little bit of space so that the automation doesn't snap. Or maybe not. Maybe that is just a little bit too resonant. Let's try like 95. Yes, that doesn't click at the start. Right. Now if this turned off, we can also import that into our resampler. And this one too. Oh. Let's start with this one. Oh, does that not work? There it is. Okay, so this isn't the cleanest in the world. Let's see if we can. That is the cleanest transformation. That's basically the same as it was before. This one looks a little bit nicer still. The lock fundamental seems to do strange stuff. Maybe this one works. This one, the lock all also often works well, but not with the kind of clicky sounds. here. You get a nice different wobble from that than it was like in this one. This one feels like it has more silence in there. So if I lock all, we can do it like that. You can even play with it. I don't even know what this means, the pitch bend. Like if I go up. Okay, no, we don't want that. Ah, if the sound has a pitch bend. Try frequency shift to 5. I think that can take some sounds to resample, however it might get annoying. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to save this first. This will be number 10. And then we'll also import the other one that we just created. This bad boy. Let's see what this sounds like. Correlate mode. It looks very messy here, I would say. It's like shifted in phase as well. Here we need to apply some phase shift. Although this does have a lot more stuff going on in like the tail bit. I do like that sound. Let's do it in correlate mode. Let's apply a phase offset. I want to look here. Oh. How do I remove these? Shift, what is it? Oh, just double click. Okay, nice. Right there. We want the click right there. Right? Which means we remove you. And this is still at 90, so it kind of moves forward a little bit, which I guess is not a big issue. What I do want to do is select all of this, copy, and then select all of it with the start, paste. That removes the first bit, so we maintain a little bit of a cleaner looking wavetable from that, I think. Okay, then I'm going to fix this. This is very cool. I like that. That's a very psychedelic sound. That sounds better than I expected from just randomly throwing a flanger on it, to be honest. I'm happy with that one. But I also saw that you had something to try out still. Let's create a new source sound to start off with. So this is that old wavetable that we created in here. Let's delete everything. And then I guess we can draw a little bit in here. Just kind of like a random drawing. And then with effects, we maybe again power sync. the whole thing. No, not the whole thing. I want you to go amount 0. So now we're kind of swifting up in a different way, right? Like this. This does have a little bit of an offset. Let's see if we can fix that first. Phase offset. We set you right there. Because here the phase doesn't change. So now if we power sync from 0 to 100%, it always stays there. I'm gonna go full overlap as well, 100%. Maybe 0% here as well. So that it like neatly starts to fade in here. It starts to wobble the wave more and more. Let's see what that sounds like. Well, that's less exciting than I expected, to be honest. Try a frequency shifter with 50% wet at a low rate. I think it can make some sounds to resample. However, it might get annoying phase drift, but it seems like PPU does that handle very well. Let's try some phase shifting then. We go in here and we can do a... No, not this one, apparently. First of all, let's remove serum effects. Let's record it. So this is our starting point. Control L here. We want to use a shifter because this has an LFO and a dry wet. So I go in frequency mode, set an amount slide. I want it to saw up. Can I set the phase of this or the starting point? This might be cool to add something like that. It might be a bit too drifty and a bit too fast as well. We kind of just wanted to do it once, right? So now it does it like 4 times. The kind of zap effect. So if I duplicate this a few times, it should just... I can maybe set slightly different amounts here in each of them. And let's sum that to mono before we record this. I'm going to do a few recordings of this. Get the best ones. I think I'll start with that one. I'll cut out all the rest before. You can actually see where it starts and stops, which is pretty neat. Okay, I can go crop. And then I go into phase plant again. Let's turn this off. That doesn't work. You need to be in the editor in order to import it like this. Maybe it needs to be of a certain format or something like that. Let's see. Select you to play. That's very cool. That already sounds nice. Let's try this one. This one does disperse a little bit. There's a DC offset in there, which we can remove probably, which is the wobbling that we see. So this is good. Let's see. Yeah, remove DC. We want it to be neat. Then we can use the phase offset. So here we want it to be there, and at the end, this one we also want that to be right there. So now it stays. And then I can frame peak this one. That moves around a little bit, yeah. Very cool. Okay. I think that's where a lot of the techniques that we're using here come from. All of that, what we're doing in the wavetable is a lot of like phase dispersion, right? So doing a lot of phasing. With that in mind, let's try to, I'm not going to duplicate and redo this again, although that could be very cool. Hang on a second. It just processes through the same chain again. Oh, it's gonna get loud. That's nice. Process it again. Something like that. Just do it twice more. Yeah, so this just gives us that extra like phase dispersion that we got from the process we had there. So crop sample and throw it in here. Let's test it. Obviously it's very quiet now. What I want to see is how it moves in terms of the waveform. Okay, so it's actually pretty stable, this one, in this form. I like that. We can now go and do each one separately again. Sounds run through. Glitch effects is also super interesting as well. Capture stuff which is really, really hard to craft manually. Helion 6, never heard of that. What is it? Is it like a synth? I like the depth of this one. This will be 13. I'm creating quite a big pack already. I'll start this one here actually. Let's delete the first frame and then, oh, we need to Control C, Control V like this. Right? Yeah. So this is going to be 13. That sounds nice. I like that. It's a powerhouse for sound design. It's for guitar. Okay. What did I want to do? I had some planning. Oh yeah, all-pass filters. Seeing as we're doing phase shifts, let's focus on all-pass filters. Oh wait, we'll take one of these. A different one here. The whole thing, please. That sounds cool. I like that one. We go serum effects. And then in here, in the filter, miscellaneous, there's an all-pass filter, which just does phase shifting, dispersion, which is what we want. It kind of pitches it. Let's duplicate it a few times and have these kind of alternate. Okay, so this starts from 0.1. Wait, we'll go from 0 to 0.25. We have to 0.5 set these exactly so that they're exactly in the center, and then this one will also go. So it's going up, down, right? Lower, lower, high. Why is these? So this is the second one, isn't it? No, they're not in order, because of course they aren't. 2, 3, and 4. 0.25 to 0. There. Then this one, I want that one to go up again. 0, 2, 5, 0, 2. Why is that not? Ah, is it because of the? Ah. Okay, so that sounds like wind. Oh, wrong channel. See you, Dada. Let's make this recording bit a little bit longer. Okay, we'll take like this here and then resample that. Maybe with some cool effects we can make something cool out of it. It sounds very noisy, so I don't know if that will work as a wavetable. Let's see. Okay, so that really doesn't like it at all. This is C1, please. That already sounds a lot better. Let's lock all of them. That's cool. And now I want to frame peak. This is maybe a bit of a mess. Although I might see this work like this. If we set this to sync. Sync plus on here. It might work for the random kind of synths. That's kind of cool. Arpeggiator. And then let's set it to 3-0. This is really cool sounding. Yeah, I like it. I can make 3 of them actually, and then go to 24. And then I'll use... Here's an idea for a synth, quickly. Again, these have to go to 0, 0, and 0, and then each of these goes to 100% there. You go 100% there. There's probably some math that you can do so that they always all line up exactly the same towards like 100%, so that not all 3 are like high and then the next one all 3 are low, changing the actual volume. But let's just do it like this. Oh yeah, if you set them bipolar, they're going to be silenced a whole bunch of the time. Okay. Another one of those random bots. I'm just glad that those things count towards engagement. And then I should be able to set like amounts that I want. I don't want the highest one to be too loud. I can set... Ooh. Here's an idea. 1, 2, and... I need to put them in different groups then, don't I? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's... We want all of them to have the same decay. We can randomize the pan as well. Set the pan all the way to the left. This one goes all the way to the right here. And then this one also maybe like this. That's together with a delay. Yeah, to be honest, up until this point I've been able to just quickly turn them off. So it's not that big of a deal, like it happens once every 2 streams. Nothing appeared when I wrote. Sometimes the chat client is a little bit laggy for like sending out messages. I've had that happen to me as well. This sounds really cool, I like this. Let's see, I'm going to add highest order. Let's add an LFO. This is just experimentation for what the wavetables can become. Never trigger from node. We want this to be like synced. Maybe a transgate on maybe this phaser. Before there. Transgate. I'm going to put this on here, and I'm just going to duplicate this thing. Oh. Like 3 times. To get more of that phasing again. I want to double this. What is the longest that you can set? You can set 16 bars as the longest. This sounds very, very cool, actually. Let's add some dynamics. This is a very cool sound. Will I share the wavetables? I might at some point turn this into a pack. The idea for today wasn't really to make... wavetables already to share and to like sell as a product, because if I'm going to do wavetables, I'm going to do like a big pack for like as a product, right? I won't share 10 wavetables like this maybe. Obviously the product will come with a demo which will include 10, 12 free versions, so there will be a free pack as with all of my products, but I'll turn it into a full product. So if I'm going to share these, if I think like this is cool enough that people would buy it, then yeah, I would share it. In the sense that I would make it into a product. I think it's interesting enough, yeah, to turn it into a product. Definitely. Let's try out some different wavetables on this one, though. Let's see what happens if we do this with wavetable 11. Just to see how this reacts to its wavetables. Oh, this works so well. Let's try it with 9. I'm keeping them all of the same just to see how different wavetables react. Cool. This is a more aggressive FM one, right? Oh, I can just turn lane 1 off. I guess here you would just have it the one. Ah, this one doesn't shift, right? It just becomes more SSQE in the same way. I guess what we could... Ooh, here's an idea. We can set up the SSQ FM and open that up. See if that makes an interesting waveform. So what I mean by that is using the SSQ carrier that I have. SSQ carrier, here it is. This one. And then set up the FM amount. But let's do this in faceplant actually, because that shows us the waveform that comes out of it. Still need to add my serum wavetables to the faceplant, I think. Xfer serum tables. Okay. You can just add your wavetables here. For those who don't know, in faceplant you can add your wavetables, and then everything apart from this one wavetable that doesn't load anywhere just shows up for me. So analog, yeah, that should be okay. Set this to its right form, and then we want to do this here, probably on a sine wave. And then for a wavetable, we set the amount. Ideally, I would like to align it so that the phase, I think it should be a 0 point then. Ideally, yeah, I want that point where it goes up and becomes a spike to be the 0 crossing, I think. Let's see what happens if we play with the phase. Something like this. Macro 1. Let's have you go up. I need to reset the source. Every time you remove the synth and replace it with a new one, it will stop recording from there, which is very annoying. Actually, all of this can be fixed. Like this, I hope. Okay, crop sample. Let's throw it in faceplant and see what this does. New. Let's see how this imports. Like a mess. This one is already better, but the phase is moving around, which we can fix with the phase shift actually. So this is okay, as long as it looks good. Like, is there a big difference between correlate here? Oh, correlate doesn't move. That's perfect. This is exactly what we want. Okay. And then we can phase offset this so that it aligns right here. And then we have this one. Oh. Nice. Let's save you as well. We want this to be 15. What other sound design tricks can we use? Let's say that we want to start from this here. How can we really mangle this? Let's say that we do something like this. I want to... Ooh, here's a thing. Let's take... Maybe not... Yeah, let's take it somewhat like this. We consolidate it. And then it's turned on warping mode. And then we just like warp it. To start off with, we just have it warped. Right, this should not introduce a lot of problems. It's already in reverse, which I like. It's very loud. We can... Oh! M equalizer. We can use this for like peaks and troughs, making our own phaser. Right? We can make our own phaser shape from there. The way this works is that with the shift parameter, which, let's move this to the middle. Okay. Then this is a high band. No, this becomes a low band, such that that peak lines up here. I'm just kind of trying to create the shape that I'm after. Bit of a higher peak here. This one again becomes a lower peak like this and this. And then this one goes up with the resonance to make another peak down there. What if we turn this from a low shelf into high pass? Oh, we don't want that. We want, if we do that, we want it to be a sharp high pass like this. That's cool. Let's record that. Make custom filters with slice EQ and sweep it. Yes, essentially that's what we're doing. I'm just using M equalizer for that. Same thing. It doesn't sweep as much in terms of the offset, but enough for what I want to do with it. I'm really glad that Dada came in and actually taught me about the crop sample technique. Correlate. Let's see how you... Okay, so that's a mess. C1. Let's already start. We get actually 2 peaks. So it is C2. C2. This is the correlate one. Let's try the log all one. I mean, it's nicer looking. Let's have a little test here. I guess that works. Okay, we can actually window this. Save 16. We can now open up a face plant here again. New. Oh, I want a wavetable. User experiment. Oh, experiments 16. This one here. Then I want to set up my window group again. So we go into the modulators. The window, let's go with the smallest peak here. And then user full volume. Okay. I think there's a way to squeeze this in even more if we wanted to. Let's see if we can get that with the band soft here. What do we do? The face? To a certain extent, yeah, it's adding face to it then. Okay, so this one goes up and up, which results in a very wide window here. So we can now set this face so that that little noisy bit I see at the start, this bit is at the start. And then we set this guy's face to be at the start as well. If that's possible, that's not possible. Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's then let's first of all set this. Yeah, and then we can choose maybe this area here. Okay. So that opens up the window. I think I want this to move the other way around. Like this. Let's try that from like 50%. There's a little click at the start. That's okay. That sounds cool already. Let's try to add some effect to this, like a disperser. We'll go 0% on this, 0% on this guy. So the mix doesn't do anything here. And then here it's 100%. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. I'll have to import it again, actually. Seemingly we did correlate. Yep. And then we use the disperse still. Highest maybe not the highest amount, but like a decent amount, and then just set the mix. Here we go mix to 0. So something like that, and then make sure that it's nice and loud. Let's see what this does in terms of a synth. Let's set you to 3. Add our delay. I mean, it works. It's not the most exciting because there's not a lot of high end in it. But sometimes that's what you want. We should set it. I can see this work in like a darker, full-on kind of situation, I would say. Maybe D sharp is a good one for this. Ooh, that sounds nice. The higher octave as well. I don't do a lot in D sharp actually. Maybe I should. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so this is the video here, yeah. Okay. Sorry, just some organizational stuff in Discord. How long have I been streaming already? I haven't taken a break. Almost 3 hours, wow. I don't know if there's more sound design techniques or methods that we want to do, we can look for some more. Maybe we can go back into Vital and experiment a little bit with Vital's Wavetable Maker. The cool thing in Vital is that you can mix multiple sources together. So I can turn this into a sine wave. Here. And I just set it like this maybe. And then just, okay, we'll add like a line source, which is a different source. I don't know what pool power means or grid or whatever. Ah, you can make multiple things. Oh, that's nice. Let's go with a wave window on that. Make this look a little bit like that. We'll add a warp here. It'll become a -1. We'll do an opposite warp here, which actually results in some spikiness. Ooh. Oh, this might be useful. We kind of got here completely at random, but this might become an actually useful kind of sound. Because if I record this and add some dispersion on top of this one, like some phase dispersion like we did before. Let's see. Kilohertz disperser. disperser. Like this one. We go the lowest C that there is. And then we duplicate it and just... Let's actually just set them randomly. Set some random pinch values. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to add an overdrive before it, so it gets nice and distorted. Actually, let's not do that. Let's go with a wave shaper. Disperser is powerful. Yes, it is. Very powerful. I can do a little bit of zero cross distortion here. Which always requires a lot of precision. Or precision, I should say. And then on top of that, some like normal saturation. I have to go. Thank you for the stream projector. See you. Bye bye. Thank you for hanging out. See you in the next one. It's a bit of a mess though, right? Isn't it? We don't really have a lot of high end from here. You get higher resolution sampling at 96K. Okay, but the the quality that I have is good enough. Right? Like, I don't think there's a lot wrong with what we have here in terms of quality. It's going to intersample once it becomes the wavetable anyway. Or resample, I should say. It makes it into its own like length that it needs to be for the actual sampling of the wavetable. This one stays decently in shape like this. Let's see, correlate. This one seems to be the cleanest. We'll remove DC offset. Okay, so at the start there's a bit of a mess. So we select all of this, Control C, Control V. So just copy that over. Done. We normalize each of them. And now we have this. Not the best one, but this might be a good starting point for a new one again. So this will be 18. I wouldn't say that this is the nicest wavetable here, to be honest. Instruments, phase plant, wavetable. Let's open it up and see if we can make it more interesting. Maybe just some power sync on there. The amount is a bit big. With 0 it looks like this. Let's give it a bit. Not really what I wanted. Sine FM. Here's an idea. Here we set it to the lowest, here we set it to the highest. Okay, so that's a bit much. I do like that idea. The sine FM seems very powerful. Here we go, no amount, 0 amount, frequency at the lowest. Here at the highest we go higher amount, frequency at the highest. This might sound cool. Let's go from here up. I'm trying to get it 125 exact. Okay, we now get yoink, this thing, and then we resample that. Let's make sure that this isn't in there. Little bit wobbly, but it sounds cool. We crop sample, or crop clip is the actual thing. Okay, let's correlate and see what that does. That's the exact same. If we use lock all, what do we get? Definitely something looking different, which I like. Again, as a test, we are going to set up our modulation here. Enter delay to see. I like that. Kind of a strange, almost non-harmonic sound. Which wavetable editor do I prefer, Vital or Faceplans? I prefer the Serum one for anything quick. I seem to prefer Faceplans for importing and processing wavetables. I really like how they turn out here with the different algorithms that they have. And I like Vital ones for getting very complex. The power of wavetable editors really comes in when you combine them. So we started out with the idea in Vital, then we turned that into an idea in Faceplant, and then we reused that wavetable to make this wavetable. And now we have a very cool, very complex wavetable. So in my opinion, that's the way to go about it. Different wavetable editors for different uses. To be honest, I know the Serum one the best, so that's why I say the quickest. What I like about the Serum one is that you have a lot of control over individual partials, right? So I can go in here and edit the 500th harmonic if I wanted to. You'll never need that because that's way out of the audible spectrum. But Vital and Faceplant, especially Faceplant, it just doesn't have the wheels to do like phase up here, I think. Not that I've seen. Probably is a method, but Serum really does it at best, I would say. To be honest, what I feel like at this point we're doing is we're just kind of running around in circles. We do some kind of cool sound design thing, and then we turn it into a wavetable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably end it here, because I have something to edit. So I might as well do that, since we're not really doing any new stuff, right? Other than maybe the specific sound design technique that we're doing. It has been 3 hours, so this is a nice 3 hours of footage of just doing cool sound design stuff. I'm going to save this project, and I'm definitely gonna go back into the wavetables, and maybe I'll be able to actually create a pack out of the tables that I'm creating here, because I really like how fast I'm able to do this. I was kind of under the assumption that this was going to be a huge pain, but we're getting very nice, very cool sounds out of it. So that's very nice. So yeah, this is going to be it. Next stream, I don't know. I'll try to do one during the week. Next week, just so that you have a heads up on the program, I have a tutorial coming out on 6 mixing tips for Psytrance. So a bunch of cool tips that I picked up on mixing the album. What I also have coming up in Edit Now is a guide on arrangement for Psytrance. So I go through all of the arrangement techniques that I use, from macro arrangement of the whole track into placement of individual sounds. What I've also been doing is shorts, and I want your guys' opinion on this. Do you like the shorts? Do you think it's cool that I'm taking all of the like little ideas from the big videos and turning them into shorts for easy consumption? Or would you guys rather see different content in the shorts? Because I can do both. Today I tried doing something different content. Right, so the short for today that was posted today isn't from any tutorial. It's like a downlifter thing that I came across yesterday, 2 days ago now. While I was watching the Dash Glitch video on Burn and Noise FM stuff, I used that technique that he used in Vital, where you have like one oscillator, FM another oscillator, and set the harmonic to 0, and then shift it up like this. With this one here, you can like go up by a lot. I kind of adapted that in, I think I did it, I don't remember how exactly I did it, but I did it differently for sure. Or maybe I did use the shift modulation here. Yeah, this was kind of what it looked like. You use this as your FM carrier for a different modulator, and that creates cool sounds. I use that for some kind of riser effect that I showed off. Either way though, I want to know what you guys think about the... I like the format of the tutorial videos. The most important is the info from them. Would you say that you look at the shorts? Like, because they show up in like your subscription feed as well, right? Or do you just ignore the shorts and only watch my long format content? I'm getting, like, looking at my analytics, what I saw, apart from this short doing well, this last one, what I saw is that what shorts do is they stabilize my view count relatively high, but the effect is already dropping off. Like, where is it? Content, shorts, views. The first short has the most views, and then it's the second, and then with a little bit of difference in here, it's a little bit different. But the first one performed much better, and then the second one was like così, and then from there on, once I started doing them daily, it was it became much less for each one, right? The amount of views and the amount of interaction that I would get from them. So I don't know if that's just the first boost doing its thing, or if maybe that first short was just better. Either way, I'm going to experiment with it. What I would like to do is just see, like, for me it's easier to just repackage the tutorial. But, right, so I say, I give 5 tips on a tutorial, I make a short on each of them. That's the easiest way to do it, because I already have the content. It takes a bit more time to make the shorts with original content, but it's not so much time that I can't do it, right? Like, I won't go back to long format videos every day like I used to at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. I used to upload a long format tutorial daily, which was insane. Like, but you can see what it did for my analytics. If I go to lifetime here, you can see this was, I still haven't had the amount of like sustained success that I had right at the beginning. I would average around 1,000 views a day. Now I'm at, the last week I've been at 700, 600-ish, right? So it used to do very, very well, doing the 1 video a day original long format content. I think with the short format content, I can kind of bring back just, you know, tutorials on sound design like I used to do. So I think that might be very, very cool. Yeah, so I experiment with it more. I see you guys in the chat like them. So I'll definitely continue. With that being said, though, I am going to end it here for today. I had a fun stream. I hope you guys enjoyed everything we did, all of the wavetables that we made. And maybe I'll do a few more of these streams. Maybe like balance it out between normal production and doing this kind of stuff. Like one-on-one, switch it around every time. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll turn this into a pack even. It's very interesting for sure. So yeah, it's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.